Morning, Corey. See if he's in here just yet. We'll get started. There we go. You good, Corey? Corey. Corey, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Cool. So I'll share the screen and we'll get started here.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to do we're going to finish our breakdown that we started the other day live of our 2022 versus Harvest game. So we're going to pick up here with the ball out of bounds defensively. All right. Again, levels before the whistle, we should make sure we already have our hot guy designated. It looks like Cozy is our hot guy. We want to make sure we're covering this crease guy and not just covering space. Again, I don't love our effort here getting on and off the ball. We got to get out a little bit better. Will Feldman's going to do a nice job of trailing through X here. Okay. However, this guy, he's clearly right-handed. He's going to make a little move back to his left. Right, you're going to see Will kind of bite on it and not trail through X. The guy's going to get back to his high side a little bit right there. He gets a little cross-feed look. Not a great look. We talk about that all the time when we're running our invert set about not throwing that cross-crease pass because it's a very dangerous pass.
Yeah, off ball. Don't be so tempted to jump up and down when you crash to that back pipe. You're making it a more tempting feed than it should be.
All right, we want to get the ball out of the middle here on the clear. This is where the clear becomes ambiguous. All right, we want to get the ball out of the middle to one side so we can stretch. It looks like right here, Spielberger in our bottom left, he may be getting covered by an attackman. So
yeah, I also think Ryan's spacing should be. You want your heels on the sideline, our clear guys. Right now, Ryan's standing inside the wing line. Utilize the space that you have on the field. So heels on the sideline, so that way you can see the entire field and everyone in front of you. And like Coach Dunn said, you got to know that you have an attackman on you. That's actually your time to stretch over the field and call for the ball. But get it out of the middle of the field. Let's let our defenseman throw that pass, not the goalie.
And this turnover happens a lot, right? We talk about this with the goalie trying to throw this diagonal ball. Okay, the smarter play, besides the fact that our spacing isn't good, which Corey points out, this ball should just go right here to this defenseman. D guys, we should not be above the top of the box so we have plenty of time to receive the ball and look upfield. But now we try to throw a diagonal pass, and it's going to be a turnover. And unforced turnovers generally turn into goals, right? And notice we're not even able to step into that throw the way we'd like because the attackman jumps us. So a lot of teaching points there. Get the ball out of the middle of the field, all right? Again, I'm not sure, Jack Agers, why we're not covering people in here, okay? This guy right here, you need to cover somebody, okay? So you have a choice here of really either covering this guy over here or covering this defenseman right here. Same thing, our attackman on the near side is just covering space. Drop by the box, find that guy entering the field and cover him up. We got a short stick picking it up, so we're going to double it. Okay. But Jack Agers, right, slow to react. Now he realizes he's left the guy wide open, and now we're scrambling to go try and get the ball back. So you got to anticipate attack guys. You got to drop back. You got to check. Okay, this is a D guy going for sticks. Oh, boy. Takes too many guys for us to take him down here. This is a classic mistake that I talked about on our last film session. Cozy comes upfield, tries to take the ball away by reaching for the guy's stick, and now he's beat. And as we collapse, we're still swinging for sticks, and eventually we put this guy down. But, you know, you got to watch a loose ball push there too. And definitely can't let one guy beat four of us picking up that GB. Good GB by Lawler, run to space. Our attack guys, again, not doing a great job. I'm going to pause that and rewind that back. Okay. Right here, okay, this guy, you need to get ahead of the play a little bit more, Jack, and then you got to be able to break out into this space up over in here. All right. And now watch Callahan. He's already wide. The D guy is not ready to throw the ball, and he's going to break out flat, right? He's going to go straight to the sideline this way. I can miss. No. Straight the other way, this way, instead of breaking up into the ball on a 45, where he really should be coming. It's not working right today. That way, up into it. And if you don't get it, you got to backdoor cut your man and give that defenseman room to keep through. Watch, he's going to break flat to the sideline, not a great breakout. And now he's just completely getting rid of that ability to go down the alley. So a bad job by our attack of really allowing and helping that deep pull out there. Great ground ball by Matty Perfetto. And this is one run to space. Look at there's 4 or 5 guys in here, Matt. That's an unbelievable play. Run to space and a bad job defensively. I mean, listen, this is one, guys. Great job by Matt. Normally, I would tell you to run to space. He's going 1 against 5. But we talked about before, having awareness of the D guys covering you, right? This guy, by all means, should have just stayed in and been free. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. This guy bails out right here, right? Assuming, I'm not sure. There's no communication, obviously, there on defense. Matt is very heads up. Bad angle by the attackman. Great finish by Matt.
Yeah, nice job just simply faking high, shooting low around the goalie, especially when you got a big guy in net like that.
And D guys, we create offense on multiple angles here, okay? Not only is this guy dropping in and covering up when they have more than enough D guys, but watch this defenseman. This is a bailout check. He's going to throw a back wrap right here instead of just trailing to Matt's inside shoulder, right? He really should be keeping his stick vertical in this area here because that's where Matt's going to have to shoot. But he just tries to take the ball away on a lazy play and a little back wrap, and it creates goals. All right, that's just creating offense for us. Great job by Matt. Understand the situation. Did a nice job of running to space, kept his head up, realized the guys were going to bail out, and we get a goal 1 versus 5. So for the Harvest guys, that's a tough one to give up. We're kind of right on the line here. I'd like to see us kind of there we go, get that forward exit. Great job by Johnny Lewis. Good spot, man. He put that right over his off-stick shoulder. Right? Did a nice job of keep running. He wasn't panicking with the ball on his stick. You know, Matt Perfetto, the only thing I'm going to tell you is be careful here as the point guy. Kind of a natural reaction to start running into this area here. All right, and that's how you sometimes don't have your hands free. I don't know why our lefty attackman is so wide. Okay, Callahan out here. I mean, maybe he thought he was supporting the ball, but it's pretty clear that we don't need support for the ball. Johnny's got a break. He needs to be way inside here pinching this pipe. And when his guy comes off this bottom left, then it's a dunk. But like I said, great shot placement by Johnny Lewis, and we put it away. Now we got a little bit of momentum with 2 quick goals. This is, just an IQ thing too. They have their long pole taking their faceoffs, and now you can see he's getting a little bit gassed. All right. Now's the time to play a little bit faster, try and win that faceoff, make him have to play up and down the field. I don't love standing. There we go. Get to one side or the other. We're going to give him a clear forward exit here. The Harvest guy should at least have somebody cut and break. Good job by the pole, making it a scrum. We get boxed out way too easily there. Good lift. Good lift by their guys, too. That should probably be a push when we get the ball back. Good job by Ronan Bryant. This is one thing we talk about a lot. And he actually starts to move a little bit, but just a quick little teaching point. What a great job by Ronan. Picks the ball up, looks exactly at the ref, puts his stick in the air, show him that he's ready. Just make sure your feet are stopping so they don't decide to walk it back. But what a great job of playing fast. Now he's
Middies,
got
you
to get
should know
everybody else
that.
playing fast too, because the defenseman behind the ball knows he's got no instinct to try and get wide for him in case he gets squeezed back. Don't assume guys are just going to get out. But a great job by Ronan there. Johnny get ahead of the play too. Why are we coming back this way though? Okay, this is something that drives me nuts sometimes. It's like the Zoolander effect where we can't go left, right? We've just got the ball down the field. Everybody is up in the top part of the field. Take this ball and go back towards the opposite side of the field. Run a little
Look,
bit. Let's get it through X. Get people a touch.
can you go back for a little bit here for a second, Dunn? This is a good time if you're standing on that wing there and you're Matt Perfetto and Ronan's got he's got a full head of steam and he's going to set a screen for you. This is your time to square up to the goal and put that defenseman in a really awkward position, right? Because if you decide that you're going to either utilize that pick or not and attack the goal, all right, that's a really hard cover for that defenseman, especially when there's a pick coming in transition. So instead of just catching the ball and just kind of like half speed carrying it back up to your strong hand and not getting anything at it, square up and attack the goal. And a lot of times going underneath is a really good option because there's not much help there, or the help is tough because it's probably coming from that backside crease area there. But you also might be able to get that guy in your back and draw something. All right. And then worst case scenario, just carry the ball through X and do exactly what you were saying would probably be the best thing to do in this situation.
I mean, there's also a ton of options of what we could be doing either here. I don't even just love how flat he is. Like he's kind of high. He's clearly not getting the ball. Ronan got out, So I'd like to see Matt down maybe more in this area. If he's going to get that ball early, Corey, what you said, pass down, pick down, awesome opportunity there. But also he can get through here and give Ronan that alley to go down his left hand or even up pick for him and maybe give him a little bit of a Utah look to get down that alley with really having no help, or maybe we get a switch where that defenseman decides to jump off. And now we've got Matty with a short stick on him. But like I said, I just don't love the fact that now we catch this ball. Ronan kind of stops playing. It's actually a lazy pick by Ronan that could have worked too. But we're going back across the top here. And like I said,
also goes
kind of have a little tired.
It goes back to what you're saying too. Like we have momentum at this point. We just had a short defensive possession. We got 2 goals on them on a 2-goal run. So like this is the time to do those little things in transition and play fast.
This is just lazy feet. This cannot happen at the high school level, right? We're taking for granted that that's going to be an easy pass. And watch, we almost bungle it. Like that, you got to have Chris Stewart all the time, right? That can't be down at guys' knees. Shorten the pass, run the ball there, get your hands free, make good decisions with the ball. I think we're going to get a little slam pick here out of Ronan. A couple of great jobs by Ronan Bryant here as far as getting guys to move or just making good picks right off ball. I'm going to move this up here. This is much better. There we go. Okay, so I want to rewind this and just make sure we're getting our action correct off the back. Okay, we don't get any of the movement like we're supposed to. Okay, we get the cutter off the top center, sure. But with this guy, Scandalius is kind of becoming the crease guy that never pops off a little bit. Not bad. He's got to pop wider. We get a great job. We got to cut through a little bit earlier too. Okay, we know that we're setting that slam. That high center guy should already be through because look at all this space that Matt has. Right, he's turning that corner. He's got the short stick on him. I also don't know that we need to stop our feet there to shoot that side on. Attack, guys. I'm going to be on you guys all film about an OB. That ball went out of bounds. Now there's a single attack guy again behind the goal, and we're not running anything. Now we finally get the second guy back. We're running a fish hook for the wrong hand, and we get absolutely nothing out of it. Like, here's your awareness, man. Right? Matt Perfetto just shot the ball, okay, at the top of the box. The ball went out of bounds. There's almost no hand signal until late. Joe Scandalius, get off the crease, get behind the goal. Okay, if we're going to run a fish hook, it shouldn't be for his left hand. It should be for his right hand. And now we're getting nothing out of this. Right now we're just throwing the ball back around the perimeter. And OB is supposed to be some sort of quick option that we have to get something cheap off the end line, right? And now we're just going to the goal. We're not really in a formation. We're a mess, right? This is times when you just need to pull it out, hang out for a second. Good. Pull it out, Matt. And we're going to get a goal because it's the typical no, 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 yes. and actually we don't get one. It's a great job. I mean, listen, the one thing I will tell you, we can learn from other people's mistakes too. Look at the approaches by all these harvest guys going for the stick, going over the head. All of that is just bad, dude. Don't do that, right? Half the defense is just hanging in there.
Yeah, hammer that thing over the top too. We've scored some goals here shooting low on this goalie. Dropping your hands and try to sting one under the crossbar it just doesn't make sense right now in this situation.
And in the last 10 seconds, he's 0 for 2 shooting side on. Again, another ball out of bounds. Get to your spots. Okay, make him. When the ball goes out of bounds, midfielders, we should be in a 3-man top, nice and wide like our offense, and everybody's levels should be above the top of the box. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Give plenty of room for the attack to operate in their 3-man games. Okay? Exchange early. It's all about beating the whistle. We talk about beating the whistle on defense a lot because if we don't beat the whistle, goals get scored. Well, guess what? The same thing is true if we do it offensively.
Sorry to cut you off. I just want to talk about spacing when we're in our Ivy set. So we have an attackman, I believe, Matthew behind the goal with a short stick on him. So it's a good time to get right into it. How do you want the off-ball guys to be set up, as we go into the summer?
So really, as we were kind of talking about this before, what I would like to see if we're in an Ivy is that the high guys should kind of almost be here, all right, and here. Like Ronan's in a great spot again. I got to tell you, Ronan, I've gotten on Ronan in past years about not being in great off-ball spots, but we want to be high and wide and stay high and wide, okay? A, it's going to make the defensive recovery longer. B, it allows that skip pass to have a little bit more arc on it, and it allows you to have your hands free with the option either to shoot time and room or to get that hitch and go down the alley like you had talked about. Our third guy, who's kind of meandering off picture right now in the top center, isn't realizing that we are in a Ivy set. So maybe Macon could go inside, all right? Because we want to get 2 guys inside and get that crisscross action like we talked about, and we want to get a guy in the mirror. Now, typically what we'd like to have is have Callahan throw that ball to Matty and get Callahan inside and get Machin actually to the mirror. We want to have a midi in the mirror because we always have usually a lefty and righty attackman out there. So if it's a righty attackman behind, we want to have that lefty and righty get to their strong hand off ball, off those cuts. Makes it very, very simple. But here we are. We kind of meander here, and you're probably going to be screaming from the sideline if you could hear the tape. So now this is okay too, but we get 2 lefties inside, right? This is knowing your personnel. Joe Scandalius is going to take himself and put himself in the mirror. Lennon is going to go inside. But again, look at how Macon is automatically, his body language is already leaning towards going into that area, towards the crease. Stay high. Let the ball come to you. And you're holding on this. Okay, this is not an OB. We're going to hold spots here. Another great skip. Oh, like Coach Corey talked about before, right? I don't mind the time and room. I think it's a great idea. But look at this skip by Matt Perfetto. This is perfect. This is exactly what we were talking about before.
Look at this defenseman approaching the ball. Woo. Right? You gotta have the patience and just kind of you gotta take a deep breath here and understand that if a guy is gonna do a 180, triple axle, right? You got to go around him and maybe look inside because there's a guy open inside. That's a good time to just step. A little quick face dodge, and let's get the ball in goal too, because that's a nice look.
Yeah, I mean, look, you never really get your hands fully back here, Ronan. All right, but when that guy, he's got good ups, good for him.
You see his shadow.
Yeah, we don't want to. We're not trying to get guys out in dodgeball here. We're trying to make sure that we put the ball in the goal. So this is really a great hitch opportunity. And again, we kind of scud one outside to the outside of the net. But I mean, that's good offense. The time and room shot is okay, but like I said, just read the approach at Dodgers and sell that too. When you catch that ball loaded and stepping into that thing, you should really be kind of reading him and seeing if he's breaking down. And most defenders, we've kind of seen that these guys aren't very disciplined at times anyway off of this. So this is a good time again to know that they're kind of coming out a million miles an hour and get after them. Again, ball goes out of bounds. I think we've got to pull back on Matt, and now we've turned this into the Matt Perfetto show. We've got, a mirror again. We're kind of almost running our Ivy set, but with a pull on the ball instead of running an OB. Oh, no, it is a short stick. All right. Nice play. Okay, but this is, again, so I don't love even, this is why I want to get this crisscross action, because we're just kind of dive cutting. We don't even get a cut on the one guy. But what I really would like to see off of this is try and get a short stick or a righty for his strong hand over here. Have this guy come and set a pick, and have this guy come around it, and then have that inside guy kind of drift to the back pipe.
Yeah, I think it's a change in mindset when you're inside to going from, hey, I'm just going to cut to space to, hey, I'm going to occupy and disrupt the defenseman off ball. And I think, if we can stop thinking so much about like, okay, how do I get myself free to space, and think more about like, okay, which defensemen are inside, which guys can I disrupt, and how can I help the teammates to my left or right maybe get open and get their hands free? I think we can be a lot more effective off ball when we're dodging from X.
I think it's also changing the mindset that every cut has to be towards the goal. If you watch when I'm going to play this film, this guy Callahan right here, he's going to cut right at the goal, okay? What I'd rather see is Callahan come off of a screen to, off the ball to where the cutter is going to, to where the feeder is going to be able to hit him straight on his stick. And it doesn't have to be a layup all the time off of a cut. You can cut and catch that ball at 6-7 yards and let it fly. All right. So it's just kind of, we want to, when we cut, we want to be stick on stick, not necessarily always cutting to the goal, but cutting to the feeder. We're not getting the ball there. It's a great finish, though. Tell Matt he's having an early game. Luckily, Matt's going to have this film run out before he decides to try and go to the goal when we're up 1 with like 35 seconds left. And me almost have to lose my mind. Don't worry, Matt. I haven't forgotten about that. But having himself a little bit of a day now. So it looks like we're at halftime. We're going to do a little switch. Again, I like that both poles are balanced. Everybody's backwards, giving us a nice, easy exit. Great job by John. Just run, dude.
Yeah,
put that stick in left hand and run. What a really nice job. Great, clean exit.
Again, breaking out a little lazy there. Luckily that guy didn't do a great job getting on Matt's hands. We'd like to see, if you don't have it initially, again, get underneath, right? Cut to space, backdoor cut.
Very high too, no? Like when we look at this, he's cutting up. He's really cutting almost off that top corner of the box. Get yourself a little bit lower, and you kind of backpedal when we get it, but I think that guy is also a little gassed.
Yeah.
Horace guys have played a lot of defense. We do a nice job getting on and off. Again, this isn't a film where we're going to get some lightning and thunder. We'll go over some of that stuff maybe a little bit later on. But Johnny, at least take a look over your shoulder too. I know I yell from the sideline if we got something, but don't just turn your back and start running.
No, good pace though, subbing. It's good to be doing that full speed.
We're going to go another wing here. This is a nice S dodge right here. Let it fly, though. This is what I was talking about before, right? Don't let the slide guy get all the way to you before you make your decision, right? You got to know when you S dodge, you're coming into some traffic. So you got to have that stick up by your ear. And it's just a quick release. When you look at where this guy is, this is a great S dodge by Machen. Okay, he gets under his guy. Those balls got to come out of your stick. I want to say again, though, Will Feldman, I'm watching. Okay, Will, you don't cut again, right? You are supposed to have cut, and Matt, you're supposed to have exited, and now we haven't done any of the offense. Ooh, we haven't done any of our stuff there, and we get Machen collapsed on. So it's a little bit of your own fault there, Machen, for not getting the ball out of your stick, but right. I don't love that. Again, that cut happens no matter which way that guy goes, okay? The only person who's reading the play is Matty Perfetto, all right? So we got to be a little bit better there. And, again, get this ball out of our stick. Trying to dodge 3 guys. Woo. And Gavin Jacobson, don't follow because you're just bringing your guy into that territory too. You're supposed to hold. And we're reaching for sticks again. Okay? So first of all, bad job by the attack guys because we're really supposed to be dropping 2 and chasing with 1. And again, we decided we're going to go 2 down, and we don't cover the guy in the middle of the field, Matty Perfetto. Right? I think you're on that pull up in the corner. All right? But when we get there, okay, look at your angle. Right? Flat, And now you're taking one hand off your stick and you want to check for his stick. It's a big, strong guy.
And understand, attackman, the reason, guys, we're having you drop back is we're trying to shrink the field that the clearing team has to eventually operate in and work with. But also, when you guys get up to the high school level, you guys are now sophomores, right? You probably all going to be playing varsity. It's like, there's a certain amount of time that it takes for, the team to clear the ball. So, like, you don't want to be in such a rush to get them to advance the ball up the field, which is, kind of playing into their favor. Instead, you want to sit back and let them maybe handle the ball a little bit on their defensive end before they decide to advance it up the field. So
absolutely. And Will Feldman's doing a nice job of communicating here. Short sticks. If there's somebody in your zone, you need to be on that guy, right? This is it's a zone ride in like a cover 3 type of look, but you've got to be on the guys in your zone. So we can't give this guy this easy out in the middle of the field. And then we try to steal the pass instead of just checking the guy's stick. Right? I talk all the time about the 90% play versus the 10% play. The 10% play is you steal that ball and you're off and it looks great, but it's a 10% play. 90% of the times you hit that guy or check his stick as he's trying to catch it, ball trickles through to Will Feldman on the backside here, and we pick that up, okay? Play your percentages.
But that doesn't look cool, Coach.
No, it doesn't look cool. It doesn't make the highlight tape as often. But as I try to tell my Farmingdale guys, we're out here trying to win lacrosse games, not trying to make Instagram highlight tapes, Good approach, way to get on and off. Cozy, you still got to get your stick out. A, B, let's get out. Poles, this is one of my pet peeves, okay? Now, again, I know a little bit that they're in a circle, and so we've got to be a little cognizant of getting on and off the ball. But right here, the ball is at X. You have no slide responsibility unless this guy goes left-handed. Anticipate a little bit and get out and get a check on this guy's hands. Like Patrick Lita, that's a good job of getting on and off. I was getting on you before a little bit about being low side. So now we have a guy inside. Cozy is off this guy like we talk about, but really it should be 2 things here. Okay, number 1, Lawler, as the community help guy, needs to be above the crease and to the backside pipe, shrinking this crease area. Okay? Feldman doing what almost all midfielders do. The ball moved from his guy across the top, and he's still staring at the ball carrier instead of looking at this guy on the backside. And we get help from a guy who shouldn't be helping. AB, I think, winds up covering up Cozy's guy, and that shouldn't be what's happening. Because AB actually had the guy, Jason. Again, look at this approach. Okay, I talk to him about this very frequently. You guys, do not carry your stick like a flag. Okay, this is doing nothing out here. All right, get in his hands, get your stick out, get it within his shoulder blades. Okay. Will Feldman, one hand on your stick. I'm not really sure why we're doing that. Okay, you're the next pass. You should be able to get out on this guy a little bit. Close that space. Okay, look at all this. Look at this space. This is what I talk about crowding guys. Okay, number 1, you're a little late to get out to him, but then you're going to sit. You guys feel safe. It's not basketball. We all feel safe kind of giving this guy this 5-6 yard cushion, but you're not. You're actually hurting yourself. Okay. Because now you're going to have to run to close this space because you feel like the guy's going to dodge you. And I guarantee, I haven't watched this, but I'm going to guess because it's a righty going on a lefty alley, you're going to get a little bit ahead and he's going to try and roll back to his right hand. Let's see if I'm right. Should have rolled, but yeah, same idea. Because now you're reaching with your stick instead of having your hands squarely on his shoulders like we would like. Get up and crowd. Just like that. That's great by Machen, right? He's got his left foot high. He's crowded the guy. He came out. He closed that space. All right. Good job by Patrick Leader here being helping on the backside. I'd like to see, Feldman come in a little bit more, but he's not in bad shape. And it's okay. The guy does get to the middle. But what I want to talk about now, that's a good job by Feldman. Okay. So the guy broke the rules. He did a nice job of getting high side on Machen, even though he had a good approach, right? Because Machen doesn't continue to get that left foot upfield. Okay?
Look where he is, though, right? He's outside the restraining box.
Exactly. And that's why we're able to
Yeah,
help. So
and
now, as
that
the rules change, right, this guy adjacent's going to have to get through. He's actually going to become our ball side crease guy. So Feldman can become hot. And then I think this is A, B in here, right? We're going to get a hot left and hot right because right here, leader will be able to pick up Feldman's guy as he slides. And the other guy is so late getting through. And we get a nice little easy recovery. Okay, so this is the ongoing battle between myself and some of other coaches in defense. Some D guys, they preach the stick behind technique at goal line. I get it. You don't want to slide the guys. But this is, to me, a very dangerous situation. I like to see our stick in front here because as we reach for that back wrap, he's able to look over the entire field. His hands are free. All right. And so we don't do a great job of covering up. AB is the hot guy. He's getting ready to slide to that backside shoulder, which is what we're taught. The stick is not in front. And now this guy is able to get his hands free and gets a look, and they drop that pass. But again, it's different styles. I know some guys don't teach V-holds. I'm a big proponent of V-holds because I think it does a much better job of tying up guys' hands and making them.
yeah. I also think offensively, guys, if you have a defenseman who's playing with his stick on your back and you're at the 5x5, that's a great opportunity to get into him, step off, create separation, use him as a screen, and get a good shot off on goal. So not only can you see the whole defense, survey the situation, read slides, and feed. You know, if they're going to do that, get into him and use him. Shoot as hard as you can right off his hip, get a good shot to the far pipe, and put a little more pressure on the defense.
Very susceptible to rocker steps there too. But again, we're this is a clearly a righty heavy dodging attackman. We're getting our hands on this guy pretty far from the goal. I mean, I don't mind the squeeze technique, but we're throwing multiple slap checks here to begin with. First, I never throw 2 slap checks in a row unless the guy is clearly a ball carrier. So he's a low approach. We'll break this down from the beginning here. Stick never gets to the upfield shoulder, right? So the stick should really be getting to his pad out here, left foot high side, okay? Now he's going to go to his left a little bit, and we're gonna not sit on his back shoulder here, and we're going to get our hands on this guy pretty early on because we're throwing that slap check and letting him get into us. Now he goes high side, and we keep that bottom hand driven, right? And we don't use that bottom hand to kind of punch his bottom hip and bring that stick over. And now he's going to get high side on us again, and he gets a good look. All right, just kind of follow your principles defensively. And again, I know there's a theory to keeping your stick behind guys, and I understand the pros and cons of it. But in our defensive scheme, I'm teaching you to put your stick in front so that the slide guy is there to that back shoulder.
In the clear, again, get wide, you're too high. You're already above your goalie, you're already outside the restraining box. So on the near side here, Jamie should be lower and then outside the edge of the restraining box. So that way, you know, you're making it so much easier on that attackman to go from, you know, guarding you to maybe guarding someone that might be on this near side here, opposite the box at the midfield line.
And you got to get wider too, Cozy. Put the stick in your left, and we're out. Great job here. Again, Gavin probably should have been a little bit more to the center of the field, and we should have been catching this a little bit more in the alley. But right back. Nice. And shoot it. Oh, change levels. But I don't mind that. That's you know, listen, got to change levels on your shot unless you can really blow it by somebody. But that's playing fast.
Yeah, you know, just had a long defensive possession. You know, yeah. Besides obviously shooting to score, you also want to shoot to get the ball back. So, you know, that's a turnover in my opinion when you shoot the ball from
side high
12, 13 yards clean to the goalie.
Good job marrying up and getting off there, though.
Yep.
I understand we played a lot of defense, so I don't mind us being a little bit more conservative. But again, don't be lazy. Don't assume that guys aren't going to dodge you. That's a good jam to begin with. Good, we get back out. Okay, but again, we're kind of a little slow there. Good job, though, Gav. That's a good job closing space. Good high side approach right there. Again, get your stick out. Good push. Keep that stick in your one hand. Good. Close that space. Good job getting out to the ball there, leader. Gavin, sleeping a little bit. We give up a goal. Okay. So that ball goes back across. All right. We don't have that real paranoid feeling. Gavin's head should be on a swivel right now between this guy and this guy. And he's just going to kind of relax. We talk about not relaxing on defense, staring at the ball. And this is, again, why we got to get on and off the ball here, AB, right? You don't have your stick out on his gloves. It's a spot feed. And a nice goal. It's a nice cut by them, right? And again, that's just us not being ready. Little mental lapses that are leading up to goals. So I'm guessing that Johnny's going to try and win this one backwards because he's telling his wings to get up. Nice job. But again, look at that break. The attack guys are driving me nuts right now. I mean, I don't like attack guys to begin with, but okay. Lennon, first of all, you've got to see this and you've got to clear through a little bit more. Okay, with your head though, right? We don't want to give this guy a free double, but we've got to come down to the center of the field a little bit more and get ahead of this ball to make sure we're not getting that guy squeezed. Look at this breakout by Joe Scandalius. I mean, the guys, again, we're breaking flat to the sideline, okay? Either break up and get through quickly, all right? But we're going to kind of just jog to the sideline here, and no wonder we don't get open. Good job by Johnny, getting a touch. Get the pole off first. I think we're going to let Johnny play a little offense. How many times am I going to say it, fellas? We get a dodge. Now, not the best decision here, Ronan. Now, listen, you get away with it because their guy does a bad job of getting on and off the ball and gives you an alley to get through. But dodging with a guy on the outside of you, like this is generally a recipe for disaster. But you get down the alley and you beat your guy. But we can't try to then dodge the slide guy. Ball should be out right there. Ball is coming out on the next 1-2 steps. And it does. That's actually pretty good. Oh, first time GBs. Okay, so we clearly are running official here. So, right? Callahan, you've got to look at Agers number one, and you see him grab his face mask for sure right here. Okay? There's clear eye contact. He grabs his face mask. Scandalius does a nice job of recognizing he's not in it and getting himself to the crease. Talked before about getting our midfielders higher. All right? But here, Callahan, you're already going to your left hand, and this guy is in no shape to catch this ball. So you're going to get run to the sideline trying to make this feed. You've got to continue to go to your right hand with an eye on the cutter, all right, and really dodge like you're trying to score. By you just running to your left hand here, all you're going to do is get your arm taken off. Joe Scandalius, as the crease attackman, you need to be on the back pipe and maybe flashing to the back post, okay? You're too much on the ball side here, Joe, so you're right by the fish hook.
The feeder in this situation, guys, you don't have a choice as to what side of the field you're going to attack, right? If you know that your teammate is running a fish hook for their strong hand, which you should know that Jack's a righty, right? It's your job to have your hands free on the left side of the field when Jack comes out of his fish hook. That's your job. And if you don't do that, then it's not going to work. It all starts with you as a feeder. So timing's important, right? Communication's obviously important because that's where it all starts, right? But you got to be in a position to get the ball off at the right time and with your hands free so that we can get a quick look because he's open there. That's plenty of space for a guy to catch the ball and get a good shot off on goal.
Absolutely. Like I said, Joe Scandalius has got to get more to the opposite side pipe. He's got to be on the backside pipe, flashing down even if he wants, occupying guys.
You know, Joe's got to be also looking at Jack, who did a good job communicating with the feeder. So that way all three of you are on the same page. It's not just between the feeder and the goal scorer, potential goal scorer. You know, it's between the three of you guys.
When that ball goes out of bounds, everybody should be looking at the 2 attack guys behind. Everybody.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the middies, it doesn't matter as much, but the 3 attackmen, for sure. Johnny's going to get off here a little bit.
You know, Ronan's a good guy to look at this game. He's played really well. He's moving really well off ball. He's moving very fast with pace. You know, all you guys need to move off ball at the pace that Ronan's been moving, because that's how it makes you extremely difficult to defend, especially 6v6.
Now, just
move
something
with purpose and pace.
Yeah, sorry, Corey. My fault.
No worries.
One thing I would say here, right? This is something that we need to start identifying with a team that we've been playing with each other now for a while. Ronan Bryan is on the right-hand side of the field, and we have Feldman and Lennon on the opposite side of the field. This should be a switch of some sort. Number one, we don't really want the pole in the middle. We can have the pole in the middle, but let's try and get our righties to the opposite side. It's a little bit less than our traditional, like going down the alley. We're looking to try and get to the middle of the field. All right, good. I think we're getting that. Nice. We're actually getting into an invert. Even better. Okay. Middies, try not to make too many moves. And you don't always have to go directly from X. But look, attack guys. We're cutting to the same spot again, and we're cutting straight down. You see Lennon naturally starting to walk down, stay high. And you're starting to see our attack guys constantly just crashing directly at the goal, covering each other up. Another great skip.
Good pull.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
Shoot off the hip, though, right? Let's recognize the goalie. He's a big righty. Shoot right to that right pipe. You know, you got 12 yards, middle of the field. Step right into that right pipe and put it right off his hip. And you'll get the ball back if you miss.
Nice. We get back up. But again, we should be getting right away into our OBs. We're not communicating that right away.
Right.
Like,
Joe is not – if we can go back a second here, yeah. Coach Dunn. Right. Joe Scandalius, his back is to the ball. You know, you can't see what they're running if your back's to the ball here.
Yeah. Like, and again, it's a sense of urgency. The OB is not a time for us to relax, right? We talk about playing fast all the time. Playing fast doesn't mean that you run around at 100 miles an hour. It means that you're playing with your mind all the time, right? The ball went out of bounds. Defensively, I'm telling, like I said before, don't take that as a second to relax and be like, oh, man, ball's out of bounds. Same thing offensively. That ball goes out of bounds. Let's right away pay attention to what we're doing, look at each other, and get that ball back in bounds while maybe the defense is taking a breath. But we send the opposite guy for some reason to go do this. Good finish. Okay, we don't always need to cut. This is actually a situation where we shouldn't be cutting to the back pipe. It's a good skill. I mean, the pick comes late. Just make sure you're not moving into it. Right? Make sure you're opening up. Stick should be in our left hand. Okay, good job. We drive the corner. But instead of constantly flashing to this back pipe, we should actually be taking this guy and going right behind his face mask, popping out here. And that'll be a nice, easy feed, and you're going to get the same look instead of having to almost drift behind the goal and get one. But again, we get an OB, and that's what it should look like, right? It should be something simple. But again, Joe Scandalius, I know you love that crease area, but you got to be able to play outside the crease as well.
How much time you got Coach Dunn on the call?
I'm going to pause this for a second and see if I hop out and see what we got here. Oh, I think it's over.
All right.
So stop video. Stop share. Okay, so now how do I get this to you?
Did you click stop record?
It says recording still, though. I did. I said I hit. So